Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. You may be wondering why on earth I'm standing in front of my washing machine today. Firstly, I just want to start off by saying that this video is not crochet related, but yesterday I posted a series of stories on my Instagram account going through the process of how I went about washing my husband's feather down jacket. So a little bit of a backstory. I've had both of our feather down jackets sitting in my washing pile for, I'm not even kidding, 12 months at least, because I've just been so terrified to even attempt to wash them. So yesterday I set myself the task of finally washing them. I did a bit of Googling and a bit of YouTubing to find out the correct technique, because I've heard all these horror stories about the feathers clumping together, the jacket never being the same, the jacket being ruined. And obviously they are quite expensive for these jackets, so that's something I wanted to avoid at all costs. I didn't want my jacket to be ruined. And when I did buy this jacket, the guy at the shop told me to never wash it. And I was like, that can't possibly be right. That can't be right. I've spent like however many hundreds of dollars on this jacket and you're telling me I can never ever wash it. That just didn't seem right to me. So anyway, these jackets have been sitting in my washing pile for 12 months, like I said, and I finally yesterday took the plunge and I washed my husband's jacket. And on my Instagram stories, I ran you through the whole process of how I was washing it basically and what I did. And I must say it came out absolutely perfect, good as new. So anyway, a lot of you were interested, so I thought that I would post a video here on my YouTube channel in case you were interested and you wanted to learn how to wash your feather down jacket. Now this one that I'm going to be washing today is a Macpac jacket. My husband's that I washed yesterday is a Kathmandu jacket. This technique will work for any feather down jacket or vest. But please note, I'm by no means a washing expert. So please use these directions at your own risk. I'm just telling you what has worked for me. So disclaimer, I'm not an expert. Please don't follow these instructions if they don't sound right to you or if you don't believe that it will work for your garment or item. Okay, so before we begin, I want to talk to you about the detergent that you use, because you do not, and I repeat, do not want to use your normal everyday washing powder or detergent. You need to use 100% pure soap flakes, which is what these are. These will ensure that your feathers in your jacket do not get damaged. Normal detergents and everyday detergents will damage your feathers, and that's what we don't want. Obviously, you're probably watching this video because you want to not damage your jacket. So please do not use everyday washing detergent or powder. You need to go and buy yourself some of these pure soap flakes. If you can see there, sorry, the lighting is reflecting, but anyway, hopefully you get the idea. These are pure soap flakes. This brand is Luxe. It cost me about $8. For those in Australia, I got these from Coles. And it's a 700 gram box. You can probably buy smaller ones. I don't know. I didn't really look. These are all that I could see there, so this is what I got. You don't have to use this brand. Obviously, you can use any brand, but make sure they are pure soap flakes. Cool. I also wanted to just mention that before we begin, you will probably want to run your machine through a rinse cycle with nothing in it. This will just flush out any remaining detergent that could be left in your machine from like a previous wash cycle where you did use your everyday washing detergent. So to be on the safe side, you will want to flush your washing machine out. I have just run mine through a rinse cycle with nothing in it, so that should flush out any detergent that could be left over from a previous wash. Okay, so firstly, you're going to start off by opening up your detergent dispenser, tray, whatever you want to call it, and we're going to put in about, I'm going to say, a handful of the soap flakes. Obviously close that back up. So now that we've put our soap flakes in our detergent dispenser, we're going to pop our jacket into the wash. making sure you check your pockets, because I just checked my pockets and I found a bit of paper in there. So make sure you check your pockets. I would also recommend, if your jacket is covered in dirt or mud or something like that, I would recommend giving it a quick rinse under the tap before you put it in the machine. Mine's pretty clean overall, so I'm just going to pop it straight in, close the door. Now we want to make sure that we have our machine on the correct setting. If your machine has a dedicated delicate setting, I definitely recommend using that. Mine, however, as you can see, does not have a dedicated delicate setting, so I'm going to put mine onto the silk setting because I figure that that's the most delicate fiber out of all that I mentioned here. So I've got mine on the silk setting. As I said, if you have a dedicated delicate setting on your machine, I definitely recommend using that. So now that that's done, I'm going to press start, and it's saying it's going to take about 48 minutes. So now we wait. Okay, so now that our wash cycle is finished, we're going to take our jacket out. You will probably notice that it is still soaking wet. That is perfectly normal. I would usually say to go and hang it on the line outside for about half an hour to let the excess water drip out of it, but it's quite cloudy outside today and I think it may rain, so I'm going to hang mine inside for about half an hour just to let all the excess liquid drip out of it. You can even opt to wring it out. I wouldn't be too rough with it though. If you're going to wring it out, you have to be really gentle not to damage it. But I'm going to go hang this up and we'll go from there. Okay, so as you can see, I've just got my jacket hanging on my indoor clothes area. As I said, usually I would recommend that you do hang it outside in the shade, but because I think it's about to rain, I'm not going to hang it outside, I'm just hanging it inside. You will notice that all the water starts to go like to the ends of the sleeves, and then you can just squeeze it out to kind of help speed up the process. I've just got a towel under here to catch any water, but if you just do that every, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, it'll help to get all the water out of your jacket, because you just don't want to put it into the dryer when it's absolutely soaking wet. So yeah, just go ahead and try and squeeze out as much water as you can, keeping in mind, be super gentle. You don't want to damage your jacket. And then once this is complete, once it's been hanging out for about half an hour, I will come back to you guys and show you what's next. Okay, so now that I've let my jacket drip dry for about half an hour, I'm going to pop it into the dryer. Now, don't get me wrong, it's by no means not even close to being dry. This is still drenched, but the idea of letting it drip dry for half an hour is just to get the excess water out, so it's not actually dripping water when you put it into the dryer. So now that I've done that, I'm going to pop 3 tennis balls in with my jacket. If you've got actual proper dryer balls, you can put those in as well, by all means, but tennis balls are just easier to find and cheaper, I think. I'm going to put 3 in there, but you could just put 2. I wouldn't put 1. I don't feel like it would be very effective. I think a minimum of 2. So 2 or 3 tennis balls or dry balls. And then I'm going to close this up. We're going to make sure that this is on, sorry guys, my dryer is ancient. So we're just going to make sure it's on low. So you can see there it's on low and it's upside down. I've got it on extra dry, but you're just going to check it after 20 minutes. So set a timer on your phone, check it after 20 minutes, and once 20 minutes is up, I'll show you what I'm going to do. So the jacket's been in the dryer for about 20 minutes now. If you have a feel around, you'll be able to see where the clumps are. So for instance, I can feel there's a clump in here. I'm just going to go in through the sleeve and kind of try and break it up as best I can. Obviously it's still wet, it's not going to be dry yet. The feathers do take quite a long time to dry, but if you just every 20 minutes go in and try and break up the clumps as best you can by hand. The dryer will do most of the work, but just try and help it along by breaking up these feather clumps with your hands, and then repeating this process as many times as you need until your jumper or your jacket's completely dry. Just bear in mind that it will probably feel dry on the outside, but make sure you feel for the feather clumps because you'll know if the feathers are still wet or not, which they probably will be even though the outside of the jacket feels dry. So just keep that in mind when you're checking your jacket. Give it a bit of a shake. And now we're going to pop it back in the dryer. So I've taken my jacket out of the dryer now. I repeated that last step until it was completely dry and until that I could feel that the feathers inside the jacket would dry and weren't clumping together anymore. I want to say I probably did it about 8 times. So it is a very lengthy technique, but it's definitely worth it for the end result because as you can see, my jacket is now back to its beautifully puffy self. It literally feels brand new. You wouldn't even be able to tell that I washed it. So this technique definitely worked for me. If you don't feel comfortable washing your own jacket, please seek professional advice or get someone to clean your jacket professionally. I know there are people out there that do this for a living. So if you don't feel comfortable doing it yourself, please feel free to reach out to someone who can. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want me to do more, I guess, off-topic videos. Usually my videos are crochet related, but if you want me to start doing some more off-topic stuff, let me know. If you tried this and it worked for you, let me know as well. But in the meantime, I will see you next time. See you guys. Bye.